Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're listening to the podcast Capturing Magic. I'm Bill Rogers, the voice of Disney. Thanks very much for listening.
Hey everyone, welcome to Capturing Magic. I'm Steph Clay, and I'm here today with Heather Winfield, who can be found at heatherw.com/character. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
And you're HeatherW25 on all social media.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we also have Tanya Hickman, who can be found at everymagicmoment.com, and she is TanyaH666 on all social media.
Yep.
Okay. Yay. Okay, thank you for being here.
Yeah,
I got it all right. Okay, so we've been chatting about Disneyland Paris, your epic adventure, the two of you.
Yes.
And one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, of course, since this is Capturing Magic, is how you're going to document this trip. So have you guys, I know that you've thought about it, and I know you've talked about it.
We've more like fretted about it. How are we going to do this?
Going into the trip, did you have a plan in mind?
No.
No.
No. It was take as many photos as possible, deal with it later.
Right. Okay, so what have you talked about doing?
Right now it's Instagram and Facebook. It's when I post, I used to do post to Instagram and Facebook at the same time, but then I realized that literally nobody wants to see my post 5 times because they go to Twitter as well, and they it's just ridiculous. So I post everything on Instagram, which sends it to Twitter automatically, and then I wait until I finish a full day's worth of photos, or a full trip day worth of photos, because that could take a week to post about, on Instagram, and then I take all those photos and I stick them into one album on Facebook.
Wow.
So you can go to my Paris album on Facebook and see all the photos that I posted. Some of them are Instagram photos. Some of them are just the normal photos, depending on how I decide to do that. 'Cause sometimes I don't like the way they crop on Instagram. But so that's what I'm doing right now. I came home. I sorted through all the photos. I picked out the good ones that I wanted to post. Heather and I spent a week transferring photos to one another. That takes a long time. I sort through my photos. I get rid of the bad ones. Heather does not.
I don't.
So she does.
So I have almost 12,000 pictures that I took.
Yeah.
Wow.
Where I probably had 6,000 photos that I whittled down to 3,000 photos. I get rid of the bad ones. Heather doesn't. So, and usually. Well, not that her photos are bad, they're fine. But, I just started going through her photos because I want to put them into my Google Photos so I can get the animations and stuff. But I'm just oh my gosh, how did she snap 45 photos of this one scene from a princess show? It is literally I can make a flip book. And it would go
an animation of
yeah. And
I'm gonna be posting those princess pictures for years.
Yeah, I've been starting to go through her photos. Usually, when she comes to Disneyland, I don't need her scenery photos because I have enough of my own scenery photos from Disneyland. I just have her send me photos that have people in them, like us in them. So, but this time I was I need all the photos. So we spent a long time transferring photos.
And so tell us how you transferred them.
Oh, we do it all through Dropbox.
Okay.
Except there was a problem with mine.
The free Dropbox, not even paid Dropbox, the free Dropbox.
There was something going on with mine, and so normally you just put it in there and it shows up on my computer, but it was just not working. So we had to do it where she would upload it, and then I had to go to the site and download it. And I could only download it wouldn't, if it was too big, it wouldn't let me do it. So it took a long time.
And when I was sending her my photos, so I had to do 40 photos at a time. The things we do.
Thankfully, the other way around, it worked okay because we would still be doing this years from now. It's weird because it worked for me otherwise, but for some reason it just kept, and it, like I said, it would show up on the site. It would show up if I looked in the app, but on my computer, it would say it's done, and it was not there. So.
We have, we've gotten pretty good at the Dropbox thing, but when we're in the parks, we have pretty much worked out the kind of system where I know Heather's going to take an exceedingly obscene amount of photos. So I will take a couple photos of whatever we're watching, and then I'll switch to video. So I take a lot of video because I know she's taking a ridiculous amount of photos. So I
have a lot of videos now also of the princess show,
so
which is
you can
great.
hear it. You can hear her camera clicking the entire time in my videos. So when I was transferring stuff to her, I had like 25, 30 gigs worth of video alone. It was crazy, but everything's transferred now. So we have everything. And yeah, Google Photos, everything is getting uploaded to Google Photos now.
Okay.
We do that now for sure.
Okay, good.
Because we are obsessed with the animations.
I know. Aren't they fun?
I have some really cute princess show animations.
And I noticed with this trip, because I only really upload Disney photos to Google Photos, and I noticed with this trip that they do animations from video now.
Yes.
And I'm super excited about that because they're like super smooth animations.
Yeah, and you can, and then you can also, and I think you can download them now as well in a video format so that you can share them on Instagram.
Awesome. Yeah, I was excited to see that. So we've gotten some good, and I don't know about anybody else, but I am obsessed with like the stylized photos, and it's been giving me some good castle ones.
Oh, I bet.
And I don't know why I'm obsessed with those. I actually wish there was a setting in Google Photos. Listen to this, Google Photos. I want a setting where I can be like, give me more of stylized photos.
Yeah.
It doesn't give me enough of those.
Do you save them every time?
I do.
Okay,
I absolutely save them.
Yeah.
And I think after I finish with my normal photos from this trip, I'm going to go back for like all my Disney photos and start posting like stylized photos and animations and all the stuff that it's given me.
Fun.
I don't save the collages usually because usually they're kind of like don't make sense.
Yeah, I don't.
Sometimes they do.
Either.
I mean, my favorite is when it's like 3 edits. Like, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. There's me with a shiny face and there's me without a shiny face. And so, I mean, every once in a while, there's like 1 or 2 that'll come across. I'll be like, okay, that one makes sense. And I'll save those, but I don't really save the collages. But yeah, so Instagram, Facebook, Google Photos, transferring photos. That's the first steps.
Okay.
For me.
And when we're in the park too, like we use the airdrop now.
Oh yeah, we are all about airdrop now.
Airdrop is great.
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't use that as much before. I think I always forget about it until somebody reminds me of it because I don't keep my Bluetooth on. Like that's not something I keep on all the time.
Yeah, me too.
So I kind of forget about it. But
right.
Yeah, we were, especially being with a group of people, we were all about airdrop this time. Like if you had airdrop on, like we were receiving photos like all day long.
That's awesome.
And there's no Wi-Fi in the park.
Yeah.
So like the service there was like really bad. So that was
Even
definitely
in the
way to
hotel.
go. Yeah, the
Even in
Wi-Fi
the
was
hotel,
awful.
the Wi-Fi there in like France, period, is awful. Awful.
I actually got data on my phone to use, and so I had like 8 gigs, and at the end of the month, like I had used like 7.86. Like, they like just made it.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah, it was a bit of a bummer at the Wi-Fi situation because I was like, oh, well, we'll have Wi-Fi at the hotel, like Starbucks has Wi-Fi, like this sort. And no. Like I was able to FaceTime better not using the Wi-Fi than I was using the Wi-Fi. I don't know. It was weird. Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know. Don't plan on Wi-Fi when you go to Disneyland Paris.
Yeah, it was really hard to use. And I have Sprint, so I was able to, I didn't have to call them or anything. I just enable global roaming on my phone, which means I can use as much data as I want. I just can't make like actual phone calls. I mean, I can, but they're going to be like 20 cents a minute or something like that. So I could use FaceTime. I could send text messages. I could do all that.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
And Heather was able to do $10 a day for her normal, how her phone normally works.
So so I got
for everything.
Like the data, because I normally have 6 gigs. My mom and I share a thing, so I just upped that to 8. But then so I had unlimited text and that data and calls, and so it was just like normal.
That's great. Are you on AT&T?
I'm on Verizon.
Okay. Yeah, the international plans do seem to just be getting better and better, I think.
Yeah, I think, and I wish we had, at least one of us had tried it. We didn't, because we didn't know to pick up like a mobile hotspot to see how that would have worked, because we've read things where people, that's what they do. And there was actually, when I like left the airport here, there was a vending machine that had them for $10 a day. Like you can get.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh, no, I can't. I don't know. I don't know how it works. Like, how do I return it? Like, didn't have time to like look into it. So
yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a pretty viable option to have your own Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Okay. So then what? You've transferred photos and stuff.
Transfer photos, getting them posted to social media. And now is the process of what am I going to do with them?
Right.
What kind of book am I going to make? I will never be able to do the traditional digital scrapbooking route as much as I want to, because it will never get finished that way.
Yeah.
For sure. Like it will never get finished that way. So because this is such a major trip and I have so many photos, I think I'm going to have to go the way up. And I've talked about it before, the way I did my Walt Disney World book with I forget what it's called.
With Janet's class?
With Janet's class. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's available anymore, actually.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if it is either. I feel like it maybe isn't.
I agree, but go check. I mean, you keep talking and I'll go check.
But I feel like this is something that you don't necessarily need the class for. Like I can kind of walk you through it a little bit.
Yeah, it's not available anymore.
Let's find a workaround then. All you need to do is, if you're going to do something digitally like that, it's actually, you can use the Project Life app.
That's what I was going to say.
You can use any collage app.
Yeah.
Like literally any collage app, because I don't add like cards or anything. It was just straight up photos. Right. I did straight up photos. So you would use templates to plop in all your photos. I left one of those spaces open for journaling, just solid white borders around all the photos, so it's grid style. And I did that the whole way through my book. The only perk that Janet had in that class was that she gave you printouts for you to write how many photos you wanted on this page. And here are the templates that have that many photo spots, even though, because know how to work Photoshop and, digital scrapbooking software, I was able to modify those templates to my needs. They didn't have to stay the way they were.
Yeah, it came with a packet of templates, and then it came with a guide that would you could say, okay, I've got this many landscape, this many horizontal, and it would tell you which pages you could use, which templates you could use.
My Walt Disney World book, once I buckled down and sat down and only worked on that, it took me a week. I think I had that book done in a week. Those pictures I had sat on for 5 years, not knowing what to do with them, I had it done in a week. So I actually think the Project Life app would be a really good way to go with that.
I agree.
As far as plop and go.
I agree.
Especially because you can print those out at 8x8 and 12x12 now. I mean, you always could, but you can print them in bigger sizes. That was one of the reasons I always went just with Photoshop, so they would be printable sizes. But now you can print that size through apps all the time.
Yes, you can. And you can do 10x10 too in books.
Yeah.
And then Becky announced, or I think it was actually her app team announced on one of their Facebook Lives that they're adding 10x10 printing in the app, as well as albums and page protectors.
Nice.
Yeah. There's another app that I think would work great as well that lots of people are starting to use. It's called, I don't know how to say it for sure.
It's Moldive, right?
Moldive, I think, is how I've been saying it in my head. Which is like an auto collage template. You pick your photos, or you pick your template, and then you can pick your photos, and then you can automatically rotate, kind of, have it shuffle the photos to different spots, which is kind of cool. Yeah. And then it has shadows, and you can change the thickness of borders, and you can even, the template spots, you can change the sizes and everything.
I played with that app for a second when you told us about it, and I did like that it fit the photos into appropriately sized spots.
Yeah.
I liked that. No, like, oh, this photo too long. Is it going to go here? It was like, no, it fit it where it needed to go.
Yeah.
That was kind of nice.
It is. I agree.
So I think that's what I'm doing. I think that's what I'm going to do. I can't see any other real viable option to make. It's not like a Disneyland trip that I do all the time or just a day trip. It's a big trip. So I want it to be a big book.
And it could be a once in a lifetime. You never know.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be a good book. I'm going to have to take my time. It's probably going to take some time, but yeah, I think that's the way I'm going to go.
Okay. That's exciting though. I think
I have a plan.
Yes, you have a plan. I'm excited about that. Heather, what about you?
I have no idea. I mean, I'm still, I went on the cruise, and so I still want to do a book from that, and I've done 6 or 7 layouts from that.
You still want to do it digital scrapbooking because that's what you love.
Yeah, but I haven't been able to do it as much, so I don't really know, and I don't know if I can, because I still definitely want to do it for that one, because I have all these cruise kits and everything like that. So that one I definitely need to do that, and I did that with my mom, and I'd love to be able to have something, and she could have a copy of it, so I don't know, this one maybe be different. I was joking, I was like, I should have Tanya do the book and then just print out another copy, and then I'll have to worry about it. But I really don't know. I mean, I've been posting, when I was on the trip, I know Tanya didn't post as much, but I was probably posting more on Instagram, and then she always goes into, when she posts it back in order, even though we're home, and I really should do that, but I don't. I did that for the cruise and it worked, but this let
me plop in there real quick. Heather posts when we're on trips. She's really good, especially character photos. She's really good about posting while we're there. I am not. You'll get the random character selfie from me. Maybe you'll get 1 to 2 photos a day from me, and they're usually ones that were taken on my phone. It's nothing from my camera. Heather will transfer photos from her camera, good character photos to post. So I'm really bad about that. I just went back and looked, and I maybe have 15 to 20 photos that I posted from the entire trip while we were there. So she's really good about that. I go back after I've sorted through everything, and I transfer everything to my phone, and then I start posting them in order. They are all in order. So go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, which is really the good way to do it, because I did that when I went on the cruise, because I couldn't post when I was on the cruise. So when I came back and then I went home and I did that same thing where I went in order, and that made my brain feel okay, I know what I'm doing.
I have major OCD when it comes to posting in order.
But now I'm I don't know, and so I'm just randomly posting, and I know I have so many pictures. I've sorted my pictures, but Tanya said, I don't delete pictures, so I don't even really know where to begin. That's why I keep posting from the same couple of things I've went on, and I'm I probably should be posting these things, and I don't know. So I haven't. I'm just going to be posting forever. I'm going to Disney World in a week, so then I'll have a temporary break from those.
I started going through Heather's photos, because I don't need all of her photos. I just told her to send them so she didn't have to weed through them. And I picked one folder. It had say 50 photos in it. I whittled it down to 1. One photo. Then I was okay, I'll keep this one. And then I was wait, where'd I don't need any of those other photos apparently. I don't know. I just keep the ones that I think that maybe I'll use on a scrapbook layout. So I don't need 50 of the same, them rotating and spinning in a show. They're good for the animations. Actually, I kept them for the animations, but they're not going I separated them, ones that I would use for scrapbooking purposes.
Right.
Go ahead. No offense to your photos.
Yeah, because I know stuff feels the same way as me. I think that you don't want to get rid of pictures. I don't know what I would need them for. You never know.
Yeah, I rarely delete. It's the truth.
But yeah, so it's hard for me to figure out what I'm still posting now that I'm home. Because when I was there, I definitely like to post character pictures because that's my thing. And then couple other pictures. But I still have so much I need to post and share, and I just don't even know where to randomly post from it. So I don't even know what I'm doing with that, because we were talking about doing a chat book, but that would have to be several of them, because I posted more than 60 pictures even when I was there, I think. So
yeah,
I'm not really sure exactly.
Did you say with a chat book by hashtag? Can you rearrange those yet or no?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, see, that was always my biggest pet peeve with chatbooks is like, if you went from your Instagram feed, they went in order and you weren't able to rearrange them.
Yeah.
And again, they would be out of order and it would drive me nuts. Like, that was the only reason I never like pursued doing a chat book for something like that.
Yeah, because I really like that. And you also can upload pictures and use them. Because the only thing I've done with the chat book so far is like my Run Disney pictures. So sometimes like I hadn't posted, say, like my bib picture, because I don't post them all the time, but like I could upload it from my phone and it would be in the book. So
gotcha.
Yeah, so they do that for everything and when you have like a hashtag, and you could do from more than one account, so like we could always do some kind of book from like both of our Instagram accounts too.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
So I haven't really gotten to the point where I know what I'm doing. Like I probably could even, I did use like the system that Tanya used for her Disney World book. I used that for like, see again, this is how many pictures I take. I did it for 24-hour day. So it was from one day. So I did like a whole book from that. And like Tanya's thing was like a whole trip. Like it's just so hard for me to like whittle down the pictures. But yeah, I mean, I did it for that. And even that still took me a while. And as long as, I had a deadline because there was like a sale. So I was like, I need to finish it by then. But it did finally print. So I don't know if I should do something like that, or I don't know. I just feel bad because it's not, things aren't printed, so it'd be nice to have something concrete to be like, you always like looking through books.
It's the truth, yeah.
I love looking at that Disney World book. I look at it all the time.
Yeah, I love looking at them too. I was thinking, sorry, that's why I went silent for a second, because I can't think and talk at the same time. But because I think often we think that it's just kids that want to look at the albums. But no, yeah. I love to look at them too. And so I think it's great to hear both of you saying that you love to look at something printed as well.
Yeah,
for sure.
I like to show it to people that have no interest in it. And I'm like, look at my book. And they're like, oh my God. That's my favorite thing to do. It's like showing people that don't care about your kids pictures of your kids or your dog,
Yes.
Look at my trip to Disney World that you weren't on and don't care about.
Yeah. Okay, so Heather, you're not going to do chat books, because it's not going to work out. You really,
it probably won't.
If it weren't for a time issue, you would most likely do digital scrapbooking because that's what you love.
Yeah, I mean, that's always what I like to do. That it's like it's I don't like, not really fancier, but like a nicer way to do it than just like collaging. I mean, I do like doing the whole like
it's way
pocket
fancier.
Style. Yeah. So that's what I always liked with it, even back to my regular scrapbooking days. But I mean, like pocket style too, I like doing that. So maybe that would, I guess I kind of do that a little faster, but I'm such a perfectionist when it comes to these things. Like I want it to be like exactly right. And it's so hard for me to just be like,
you still pocket scrapbook, but you still add the extra scrapbooking stuff to it. It's not just the pockets.
Yeah, like I don't just be like, I just put the pictures and the thing. Like it's so hard for me to be like, well, now I want to put this on it, and then I have to open it and put, so I don't know. It's so hard for my mind to just be like, go there and do, even when I try to make a collage just from the day, like I've been doing, the picture a day thing for years now, and then when I go like on a trip like this, and it's so hard for me I can't just pick one picture, so I make a collage of like how many pictures, and I haven't even done that for most of that trip yet. So I'm like,
I did that too. I forgot I did that too. I use you use the Collect app, right?
Yeah,
I do that too. I've done the photo day for a couple of years now, and until recently, I didn't even realize that I should be using a collage for a day like that. Like instead of picking one photo, but for my photo a day and for anything I use in the Collect app, even our trip that we just went on, which I did collages for each day, I only use phone photos. I won't use anything from my camera. Like I'll only use phone photos. So luckily I had, lots of pictures from each day from my phone, but yeah, I only use phone photos for the photo of the day stuff.
Yeah, cause I transfer a lot of my pictures, even if I haven't posted them, I still transfer a lot of them, and so I have like a ton of pictures on my phone. So that's how I make the collage from that generally.
Yeah.
But like a lot of times I'll go and I'll put the pictures from my camera, like I'll stick it in Dropbox to get it on my phone. So I don't know.
Yeah, we got to figure something out for you.
I know. I need to figure it out. 'Cause, like, I have to have something. I mean, like you said, it's like a once in a lifetime trip, and it's just so many pictures. Like, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, I know, because I hear you. I
do have them all in the Google Photos. You know that.
Right. Yeah, I love some of the things that I loved about digital scrapbooking was getting in there and like tweaking the drop shadows, and I loved that detail and making it look fabulous. But I don't love the time that it took, and that's why I've moved, because it just doesn't fit with my life anymore now. And that's why I've moved on, is because it used to take me 3 hours to do one page in Photoshop.
3 hours, that's fast.
Yeah.
Right? I know. And so now I can get, one page done on, if it's taking me a long time, it's 15 minutes.
You're right. I think I might, if depending on, I don't know, I have to look. My issue with, and this is even really an issue, I don't even know why I'm calling it an issue. It's not an issue. I want to use the Project Life app. I think I might try to go that route this time. My issue is, in my head, I feel like I need to edit the photos in Photoshop, not on my phone, which is weird to me, because I mean, I edit them on my phone to post to Instagram. So why can't I, I don't, for some reason in my mind, for a printable version, I feel like I need to edit them in Photoshop. And so that's just an added process.
Right.
Put them on the computer, do them in Photoshop, get them back on my phone, then do that. And then I have all those photos on my phone, and that drives me nuts. So it's like, I don't know. I have to find a balance with how I get Project Life to work for me.
Yeah, for sure.
As far as editing photos.
For sure. And that was actually a stumbling block for me, period, with photos. I wouldn't give, for a long time, I wouldn't share photos with anybody until I had time to go through and edit them in Photoshop, which hardly ever happened.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
My in-laws had a 50th wedding anniversary recently, and I just sent them a whole bunch of photos for it, and they were like, why haven't we ever seen these photos before? And I feel horrible, because I finally, moving to my iPhone as my primary camera got me over that thinking.
Yeah.
And thinking that I needed to edit it in Photoshop, because I can do pretty much everything that I want to do editing wise now on my phone and be happy with it now.
And I do that. I find myself now more when I edit a photo on Photoshop, and I think I like the way it looks on my phone better when I edit it on my phone. Like I hear myself saying that a lot, but at the same time, I've never actually printed those photos that I've edited on my phone. So in my mind, I feel like I don't know if they would look as good.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they look good on my phone, but are they going to look good printed?
Right.
That's what I don't, and that's probably just all in my head. They probably look fine. Nobody's going to care,
Right.
So that's something that I just kind of need to obstacle over.
Yeah.
Or have, do it all and have it printed just so I can see what it looks like. I mean, a different book.
Yeah.
Yeah. A test book.
And not even a book. You could even just do a couple of do some prints.
Yeah. Just some prints, just ease of mind.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, because it's really easy to edit photos on the phone now.
So easy. And now with the PicTap Go being incorporated into the Project Life app on iOS, it's super slick. It's super slick, but it's PicTap Go is not my favorite photo editing app.
It's not mine either.
And it used to be.
Yeah, it used to be. I used to love it. But now I stick with mostly Snapseed. And even a lot of the times, just the built-in photo editor.
That's what I use the most. I think
I like that one too.
I like it a lot, especially for when you just need to lighten up shadows. You know, if you have someone whose face is darker but the background's brighter, just lightening up the shadows. I really love on the iPhone the default editor. And I do love Snapseed too. I like Snapseed better than I like Pick-Tap-Go. And this is coming from somebody who Pick-Tap-Go is made by Totally Rad, and I have been a Totally Rad product user since about 2005.
Yeah. I love Rad Lab.
Yeah, I love their products. I really do, but it's not my favorite photo editing app. I think a lot of their filters are super harsh. And yes, you can tone them down, but once you add filters on top of each other, it just looks over-processed, I think, a lot of times.
Yeah.
I use Lightroom and the Photoshop a lot on the phone. It actually got me to, because I had such an old version of Photoshop, and using it on my phone and loving it, it actually got me to get, subscribe to the new Lightroom and Photoshop on the computer.
That's interesting. That's really good for Photoshop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of people that use Lightroom on their phones, I know. I've been hearing. I haven't tried it for photo editing. I should try it. It's so easy to get stuck in a rut, of the things that you know and use. And
I try different things. I will always, I have one scenery shot on my phone that I always keep there to try out in photo apps. If it can make this picture look good,
That's a great idea.
I always do that. It's always the same, and I always end up defaulting back to Snapseed. Always. I always try the other apps. I like trying new apps, but
yeah, that's a great idea. Okay, we're gonna figure something out for Heather. I'm determined. But I also know that Heather doesn't like to do new things, so I might fail.
This is true.
The fact that Heather's using Google Photos, I feel that's a major success.
That's a major milestone right there.
Yeah.
I still keep being confused. I'm like, if I delete this, is it going to, because I accidentally had uploaded things I didn't want to upload, like my editing folder for my character site. So I have 1,000 versions of the pictures before I don't want that up there. And I was able to, thankfully Tanya told me how to get, see which ones that I had uploaded, so I was able to delete them all. I'm like, I'm not going to delete from my computer, right? Still paranoid about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a common thing. You're not alone in that. Most people get confused about it. So, yeah, it's a confusing thing. For real.
You would think they would just make an option. Make it an option.
Yeah.
I agree. If I hit delete from my phone, or uncheck the box and don't delete it from my phone. I don't know. Whatever.
I agree. Alrighty. Let's remind our listeners where to find us. Tanya.
You can find me at everymagicmoment.com and Tanya H666 on all social media.
And Heather.
My character site is heatherw.com/character, and the Facebook page is I Love Characters, and on social media I'm heatherw25.
And you can find me, or you can find all three of us at capturingmagic.me. And then you can also find me at modernphotosolutions.com, where I have some classes all about photos and memories. There's a free class all about Google Photos. So grab that one so that you can join the rest of us with our love for Google Photos. If you haven't already, you can find it by going to modernphotosolutions.com/free. And that will get you to that class.
It's free.
Okay, thank you so much for being here, girls. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time on Capturing Magic.